You're watching Real Talk with Myron Mitchell.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Myron Mitchell. We're back, first show of the new year, but we're still talking about some of the same things that we were talking about last year, such as fatherhood. And I got my boy Ronnie Cage with me, and we're going to add to the series to what we were talking about with fatherhood. And I think we left off on tough love, how it is to parent a son different from parenting a daughter, and showing a son what they say is tough love, or is it just tough and not love? Well, that's where we left off last.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, in asking that question, do you have both daughter and son? Or?
No, I just got two daughters.
Two daughters, okay.
Yeah.
So, in parenting your daughters, and do you think you parent them a lot different than you would parent your son?
Again, I didn't have any boys, but I had my father
Right.
For a while. And I do know that parenting boys, I think, is different. Parenting boys and girls are the same, but the way we discipline them is sometimes different.
Right.
I know some boys, who grew up to be men now, a lot of boys think punishment is discipline. And punishment and discipline are two totally different things.
Right.
Punishment stimulates fear. Discipline teaches.
Right.
So a lot of times men look at punishment as discipline.
Right.
When there's a big difference.
So in punishment and discipline, and even if it's in a son, a daughter,
right?
Is there a difference? If you got, I'm gonna create a scenario. You got a 4-year-old son who just hit the teacher.
Right.
And you got a 4-year-old daughter who
did the same thing. So let's keep it right there. So the first thing in that scenario is you got to separate as a parent the action from the actor.
Okay. Action from
action. What they did, they hit the teacher.
Right.
And the actor. The actor is your son or your daughter.
Correct.
So the actor, the son or the daughter, can be really good, can be a really good kid.
Right.
Sometimes really good kids make bad decisions.
Right.
So as a parent, I have to separate the action from the actor. And you shouldn't be gender biased on that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got to discipline my son or my daughter in a way that's effective for both of them, but still remembering that the actor, my son or my daughter, is a good person.
Right.
The action, what they did wasn't good. But the actor is a good person, but the action wasn't that good.
Right. So,
which is really hard to do as a parent.
And it is because, finding it to deal with female kids, I feel to show more compassion from just because I feel like their feelings might get hurt a little bit different than a son would doing almost the same thing. Like I'll just pat him on the butt, like, come on, let's go.
Right. Yeah. But that's a society thing, we sometimes parent, I think we talked about this just a little bit last time. Mm-hmm. We sometimes parent boys and girls differently. Prime example, you got a 5-year-old boy, 5-year-old girl, your 5-year-old daughter playing outside, she falls off a tree, cut her leg open, you see it, she runs in, you panicking, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Baby, it's gonna be all right. You get towels and rub it off, rub blood off. Right. This is a really deep cut. Right. You put Band-Aids on, it's a really deep cut. Right. You rub it off, blah, blah, you holding her, patting her, she crying so hard, you feel a heartbeat in your chest, rubbing her, you finally get her to calm down, you stop the bleeding, you kiss her, hug her, tell you love her, blah, blah. 10, 15 minutes later, she quieted down, everything good. Dad, I want to go back outside and play. He said, okay, be careful, you let her go outside and you watch her through the mirror.
Right.
It's your daughter.
Right.
Your 5-year-old son do the same thing when he walk in the house. What's wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. Tough it up. That ain't worth crying for.
Right.
But then we say, society says, oh, that's tough love. I say, you show tough. You ain't show no love. Even your boy needs to be shown affection. This ain't just that little 5 feet fall he had out that
Right.
tree. That ain't no Band-Aid kind of fix.
Right.
He need about 24 stitches.
Right.
But you talking about you want to show him tough, and then we say, "Oh, my daddy did me like that." Oh, maybe that's what's wrong.
Also, as a society, we figure tough as more manly.
Right.
The more tough he is, the more manly he is. But we don't feel like that for as the daughters. Like, okay, the tougher she is, the more female she is, or the more girly she is. It's like different. We need the female to be more girly, and then we need the male to be more tough. And in disciplining and raising a son and a daughter, you go through those trials and tribulations.
Right, but your one goal should be discipline is about correcting a behavior that your child did for them not to do it anymore. You want your child one day to be able to discipline himself. That's the whole goal of discipline. Whereas your son who gets bigger, you want him to know that, okay, daddy told me that if the street light come on and I ain't in, I'm gonna get football practice taken. I'm gonna blah blah blah. So he know by 5:30, hey y'all, I'm out of here, man. So the goal was you taught him how to self-discipline. So now as a parent, by you teaching your kids how to discipline themselves or teaching them rules and regulations early on, they will begin to self-discipline, which as a parent is what you want.
So in all, do you feel like in parenting, in fatherhood, it's a complicated more than people really know?
You mean it's fatherhood?
Fatherhood, as far as making decisions on, okay, I got to make a decision on how I parent this child, because even though you might have 3 different kids, 2 boys and a girl, each personality is different.
Exactly right.
So I can't parent this kid.
You can't parent Tommy like you parent
because they react different.
Well, and they process things different and they learn different. But going back to your first statement, fatherhood is the most rewarding and the toughest job you're gonna ever have.
Correct.
So it ain't no job you're gonna ever do, even doing this, even your best job you've ever had in the board, getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, it ain't gonna never be rewarding or as challenging as being a father or mother.
Okay,
that's what we sign up for.
I had a friend on another episode. He said he was taught how to be a boy or a man given responsibility. He was taught by going to the store, cut the grass. Do you think that's a form of teaching how to be?
I mean, that's one area of teaching, because that going to the store and all that.
Responsibility.
Like my mother, when my dad and mother divorced when I was 9, my dad moved to Birmingham, but my mom raised me a single parent, had a lot of help from my grandparents, but my mama worked 2 jobs. My mama would always tell me when she go work a second job, before you go out, mop the house, vacuum the floor.
So you had chores.
Yes, but there's responsibilities. I had to do this before I went out. And I didn't get paid for them. My mom used to always tell me, I ain't paying you to do what you're supposed to do anyway.
I read an article where it said that the kids that's probably going to prosper the most in business are the ones who are given chores. Why? Because it said they are more disciplined from childhood to adulthood.
Yeah, and we talk about that in one of my, I think it's in week 9 in the Inside Out Dad fatherhood class I do in Duval County Jail, but we talk about discipline versus punishment. And we also talk about, in the last section, talk about giving your child hugs and presents with gifts and all. We talking about, it's best to give them hugs.
Okay, speaking on that, we can jump on that. In giving hugs, I just read something earlier today. I was reading something about father, and it's best, say, for a father to roughhouse play with his son. That kind of shows you care, whatever. But
that shows you care.
Yeah, well, it's like interaction and love and
what
trust
daddies do.
and trust. It's like you trust that I'm not. We just playing.
It's what daddies do,
right? We kind of.
Here's what you're really saying, and here's where a lot of moms and dads really don't kind of. I don't know if they don't see eye to. Well, maybe they don't. But here we want to. we want the same results
But
from
different.
parenting out of our children, but we go at it different ways.
Of course.
Like, prime example, your 18-month-old son,
Mhm.
his mother will walk behind him when he first started to walk to make sure he don't fall. You might let him fall
Yeah.
from the get up to learn. Prime example, when we have your 18-month-old boy, you throw him up in there and they laughing like crazy when you throw him up because they know what?
Dad gonna catch him.
Don't catch him. Now don't catch him. Now don't catch him.
And then the trust is gone.
The trust is gone.
Right.
So trust starts like that early.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but we parent differently, but we want the same results.
So
We just
just
parent
like you said with the hug, a mom, like, and this just happened recently. I saw my son fall and he fell twice and he cried a little bit and then I got him up, washed him off, whatever, put something on there. But I just kept going and then I noticed a little bit later it was like a little strawberry on there. I was like, oh, okay. But he ain't cry.
He good.
You know what I mean? But I know his mom would have been giving him hugs, kisses, and telling him that, he's gonna be all right. So in that instance, is what I'm doing right, or is it just the way?
Yes, I think what both of y'all doing is right. Because
we parent different.
Because the mother's giving him
the nurturing that he needs.
And the father is giving him the manly. But where we go wrong is we don't think, sometimes as men, we forget that we're nurturers too.
Of course.
So you just get, but it can't be of course. We say of course, but we don't show of course.
When you think about a man parenting,
my daddy was a nurturer.
Okay, in which way can you say he nurtured you? Because I don't remember my dad nurturing me. Maybe I don't know
my
how
dad
men nurture.
Yeah, my dad was a nurturer in a way that empathy. When I told him something that really hurt, first female love gone wrong, he was there. I've been that way, man. Empathize. Empathy. Also, he was a big hugger, kissed me on the head when I was young. Like, he was 6'4", 270. He had another side of him too.
Right.
That you didn't want to see.
Right.
But when he had to be a nurturer, he was. So that's a stereotype that we tend to try to live up to, unfortunately, with men. But men should be nurturers as well.
And I'm gonna tell you that I didn't receive that.
Right.
So that's why I say I don't know how a man can nurture. And that's something that I never received, but I'm pretty sure that it happens.
Right. But right now, you have a chance to do something that your dad didn't do for you.
Of course.
Right. So now, when you nurture your son,
right,
your son not going when he have children one day, if God bless him to have children, he gonna always be a man, but he gonna know that, hey, sometimes I need to nurture because we're nurturing daughters.
Right. That's how we were saying the difference.
I'm saying. So so it's really, it shouldn't be a difference.
It shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be. And anybody say it should, they don't know about parenting. It shouldn't be no different. Dad can be, you don't lose your toughness because you're a nurturer.
No, and I don't think it's about toughness.
Well, what is it about as men? What is it about? What do we think it is about?
I think it's about what we're teaching. And like what we're teaching. Are we teaching softness? Are we teaching?
We're teaching nurturing.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I have never experienced that.
Well, and what you really say, and you say like a lot of that, some of us never experienced it ourselves.
Right.
So, I always tell people, sometimes my mamas and daddies didn't teach us everything that we need. Right. I'm not saying, we had great moms and dads. I'm not knocking that. But
I think I was saying in the first episode that my dad, he told me he made mistakes. And that probably was one of them.
Yeah.
But seeing it and hearing you say that now about the empathy is new to me.
Yeah, my daughters really taught me how to be more of a nurturer. I don't know if I would have
been that with your son.
I don't know if I would have been as open to nurturing. I would have been because I was taught nurturing.
Right.
But I don't know if I would have really, my daughters really taught me that, yeah, man, you need to do this because we're a little different. How you got a parent. Yeah, you got everything. You got, got to listen more. You got to listen and not, you got to listen and not hear us.
Right.
You got to really listen to us and see what's going on and change. Like I think I told you one time before. People talking about, I love my kids, I love my kids, I love my child. And I'm like, well, if you love them so much, will you change your behavior?
Right.
If you love them so much.
Right.
Because when you love people, you'll change your behavior.
Sacrifice.
Well, yeah, you'll change your behavior if that behavior that you used to do is not good for them.
You do so for the kids.
Yeah, you'll change your behavior. Because when you love people, you'll change your behavior.
Right. That's kind of like the difference between a man raising a child and a woman. A woman is born nurturer mostly.
Yeah. And best in the world.
Right. And a man, we have to kind of either be taught that or work at it.
Yes. Or both.
Right.
And both.
Right.
Yeah.
And dealing with fatherhood, that is a main ingredient that needs to be had. It needs to be shown, needs to be had, needs to be everywhere.
But like I told you last time I was here, fatherhood is a skill that has to continually be worked on. And I think it has to be taught. You don't know how to be a good father unless you have seen a good father. Mm-hmm. Maybe not in your household, but grandparent, uncle, coach, or whatever, But this is a skill that you have to be taught,
Is this something in dealing with what, you have the program you got? Mm-hmm. Or did you learn more with the program, or did you learn more with life experience?
No, I learned with life experience. I learned with my daddy.
Right.
Yeah, I learned with my daddy. My parents, taught me. My parents had different roles. Mother had a role, father had a role. They combined the roles sometime, and then sometime dad was more prominent in some roles, mom was more prominent in some roles. But I learned how to parent. I learned what to do and what not to do from my parents.
Right. Of course.
Which is the greatest lesson they've ever taught me. I learned what works and what don't work.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this, like, with my father, I can remember he was hard, like, but as he got older, he softened up, and he started quoting stuff that I would listen to. Mm-hmm. Tupac. He would go around. He used it at school so much, I probably think everybody remember. His slogan was, "I ain't mad at you."
Right.
I ain't mad at you. Yeah, I ain't mad at you. That was his. I ain't. I ain't mad at you. And that was something that he kind of learned through parenting. Certain things worked, certain things didn't. But
one of my father's favorite quotes was, I would talk to him one day when he was living about rules, setting rules for my daughters, whatever. He used to always tell me, the lawbreaker can't be the lawmaker. It's impossible. What you mean, Dad? He said, the lawbreaker can't break the laws
and make the laws.
And then make the laws. Come on, man. What you doing? Come on, man. It makes sense. And I started laughing like you.
Right.
And he said, you got it. He said, I know, we ain't got to discuss it.
Right.
He said, you got the kids looking at you like, see, when I grew up, I'm 63. When I grew up, it was a saying, do as I say and not what I do. That's what parents have. My parents raised me.
Right.
What I love about my two daughters and their era and their generation, they like, no, homeboy, we got to see you do this before we do it.
Right.
Yeah. I know you mom and daddy, but I gotta see you implement this.
Right.
Before I'm gonna do it. I mean,
and that's
carry more weight if you do it. Right. Then I can't never say, she can't never say, well, daddy, you didn't do it. Can't never say that because I did it.
And that's another big prospect of being an example for your kid.
Yeah, with positive role model.
Yeah. Positive role model. You know, and not falling into the toxicity of the everyday hustle and bustle of life.
Yeah, and also parent involvement, like I tell guys and mothers, parent involvement, like I ask guys, I say, how many name me 3 of your son's friends' name. Mike, Red. I said, no, not their nickname.
But their real name.
Their real name is. What they parents do. Name me 3 of your kids, name me little Kenny's 3 of his best subjects he liked. What's his favorite cereal? What's his favorite pizza topping?
Right.
What's his favorite TV show? That's parent involvement.
Right.
You got to do everything. We got to be experts of our kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Because guess what? They are experts of us.
Right. Right. They don't sit there and watch you and mimic you and do things.
Yeah, like when they can't talk and they crying, they know what they know what to do to get you in the room.
Right. They know
in the middle of the
exactly
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to become experts of our children, and that takes work, which a lot of times we don't want to do.
So that's gonna be on one of our next episodes. We have to be experts of the children.
Or you can say, yeah, we do. I agree with you. We do have to be experts, but first we have to identify what is parent involvement. Because a lot of people don't really know.
Parent involvement is
what is parent involvement?
Is basically knowing your child, knowing what he likes, what he don't like. Just like what you say, everything. Knows what his cries are, or what his moans are, or what his feelings are at this particular moment, or his or her.
Right. And parent involvement also is being engaged in every aspect of their life. So if you got a dad who has a daughter who dances,
you got to go to the dance.
You got to go to the dance practice, homeboy. You got to take them. You don't let guy up in there with all the ladies. You got to go to the dance recital. You got to go to the practices. Parent involvement is helping with homework, working at the school soccer.
Right.
That's parent involvement.
I had a homeboy told me, he said, man, I don't want to change no diapers. That's what she's there for.
He ain't ready to be no daddy.
I say, man, look, I don't care what they do. I'm going to be right up in it. If it's diapers, if it's whatever it is, I'm supposed to be right there.
Supposed to be right there.
You know, trying to figure it out. And if I ain't figured it out, I need to find somebody.
Now, that just goes to show you that the guy who told you that statement, he learned that from somewhere. He learned that from somewhere. Now, we don't know where.
Maybe his dad.
I mean, but we don't know.
Maybe his dad.
I don't know. I'm just saying we don't know, but
maybe his dad and his dad didn't have the nurturing.
We learned it from somewhere because that is nurturing.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's a lot that we might need to talk about that specific subject because
it's your show. I'm gonna go with whatever you want to say.
No, I'm saying next time.
Okay.
Because like I said, I know I haven't seen that from my dad, and I'm pretty sure that it's a lot of other males who haven't had a male nurturer.
Right.
And maybe that's something that we need to explain,
right,
and show people how they can do it in the right way.
In the right way. Right.
You know, where it's positive and it's an example and it helps them as a father.
And switching gears again a little bit, getting back, because I know we were talking earlier about punishment versus discipline, but here's what I want dads to remember. Dads who have children between ages 3 and 10. Because I hear this all the time. Yeah, I put them in timeout for 45 minutes.
Yeah, you said that.
And I said, well, how old are they? He said 7. What are you doing? That's punishment.
Right.
Timeout supposed to be 1 age per minute.
Right.
So 7-year-old will be there for 7 minutes.
Right.
If you want to know how long timeout is, you go stand in the corner for your age. You see how long timeout is. Right. You go stand there for 55 minutes.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. Nah.
But I'm just saying, though, that's what I'm saying. We go all off the meter with this pun versus discipline. And then we got to also know that at some point, if your kid used to time out, you might need to switch gears. You might need to take that time out because he's used to that now.
Right.
So you got,
If for on the discipline part, you can't, I don't feel like you could tell your kid what the discipline is going to be because they already know. Sometimes they prepare for it. Okay, if he said the discipline is, I can't go out for this weekend. Okay, well, I ain't want to go out this weekend anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that. I mean, they can prepare for whatever. You the parent. I mean,
but what you just said is if they are accustomed to whatever the punishment.
Let me tell you what they can never prepare for.
What?
You taking their phone.
Yeah, well now. Yeah.
Never. That's the best discipline in the world.
Mm-hmm.
All this beating them and all that foolishness. But if you want them to change.
Take the electronics.
I'm the electronics. I'm being specific. So you got to be specific in discipline and parenting. Take the phone.
Some of them are gamers, so
you take the games.
Right. That's why I say take the electronics.
You take the games. You take football practice. Right. You take soccer practice. You take
whatever it is.
You take whatever they love.
Yeah. And that's how you discipline.
And that's how you change. Because remember, what you're trying to do, because you're separating the action from the actor.
Right. Action from actor, yeah.
You're trying to change the action.
Right, not the actor.
Not the actor. Actor, all right. He's made a bad mistake.
Right.
So you're trying to change the action, trying to get them to make good grades. So guess what I know? B to make them, I'm going to take this phone for 3 weeks and they're going to go from D's and F's to all A's. Right. It's a guarantee. Take the phone.
I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I did. I learned that men are nurturers, dads are nurturers, and that's something that I'm going to have to try to tap into myself. But the next episode will come, and it's going to be me and Ronnie Cage again talking about fatherhood. We have a lot of deeper things to discuss, and we're going to keep talking, as long as y'all keep watching. And as long as he keep coming.
I'm going to keep coming.
Okay.
I know they're going to keep watching. And my man back there going to keep filming.
Yeah. And we're gonna see if we can show you guys as I get shown myself too, certain things about fatherhood that needs to be expressed, known, and taught. That's not a class, it's just a series, it's just a talk. It's not a class. We're not trying to teach you. We just expressing and trying to let you know these are different ways that you can go about being a father. You got any last words?
Yeah, one other thing I think fathers need to understand, that we're never too old to learn.
Right.
So, no matter if your kids are grown, you still can add another tool in your toolbox.
Right, always.
Yeah, there's various traits of being a father. You got being available. So are you there?
Right.
That's the biggest trait of all. Are you there? Being accountable, honest, reliable, dependable, understanding, all them traits. Right. So we got to talk about putting those good traits in our toolbox. Being a nurturer.
Right. We got to put all of those traits in our toolbox.
To be the best father we can be. Yep.
And this is again, Ronnie Cage, Myron Mitchell, Real Talk with Myron Mitchell. And we'll see you on the next episode.